Very exciting morning because I have Dr. Obina in studio this morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, listeners.
uh,
It's a good morning and happy New Year to everybody.
when I describe you to my friends or to anybody, I said this is the wisest doctor I know.
Oh no, yeah, no, that wisdom is okay to have, but not the wisest. That is
that I
good.
know. I hope I'm not getting in any trouble with
No, no.
with any of my other doctor friends. Good morning, my other doctor friends.
You can imagine that now.
um, Dr. Bina, I was first my interest in your kind of discourse was piqued one morning when I had you on and you were a guest to another presenter and you were talking about how marvelous the body was made. And you went into the study of the DNA and there was a missing chain of codes. And your assumption, I've never forgot that. Your assumption was that if that code was still in the human body, then man wouldn't die. That was your assumption. You said it was no fact, but that was your, your deep feeling, right? And when you said that, it resonated with me because years ago, 15, 16 years ago, my mother passed and she just died suddenly at 65. And when she died, for the first 15 years, I I couldn't cry. I was just so overjoyed that I was the son of this marvelous woman, right? But there's something that prepared me for a passing. I was in a camp, a crusade, and this man was speaking, Elder Alberga Foster, old man, and he said he alone was living with his wife. They had all the children are gone, and she was sick, but she had cancer. And when she died, she was saying, "Lord, how could you take my one wife from me?" And then he said it came to him. The Holy Spirit said to him that uh, he took her out of love. Can you imagine if she could live forever in all this pain and cancer? And full circle.
Yes.
when you made a statement, that was just right in my mind. And but you have a lot of other great statements to make. This morning the show is optimal health,
Optimal health.
optimal health talk, and we're gonna hear what is it possible to have optimal health in 2025?
Of course it is. You know what has was taught me from my years. And again, once more, good morning to everybody. Yes, whether you're in traffic driving this morning or at home making breakfast, um, good morning to you. Optimal health means that we want to achieve the highest amount of health that we are capable of, and the
Mhm.
word was is capable of.
If you could bring the mic a
Yes,
little closer.
yes, capable. So whether we are capable of optimal health, yes, we are.
Yes.
The blueprint is there. It's just like building a house. You have the plan.
Mm-hmm.
The blueprint is there, and I'm going to be a little divergent from medical thinking
Okay.
because there is something in medicine called methodological materialism, a big word.
Yeah.
But what it simply says is that medicine runs away from talking about things that are not tangible, things you cannot hold.
Yes, yes.
But those of us who have learned medicine and seen the way the human body is, we realize that it doesn't just stop with this physical thing that we have. There is an organization in us that has made it possible, and from everything we know about ourselves, there are other things that affect our health that you just can't hold. So in that vein, I want to mention the fact that yes, the blueprint is there, and those of us who believe that we did not just drop from the sky or come from apes like being described, that the way we were made, everything that was said in most scripts shows that we have the capacity to live forever. That's what we remember. That's what you're talking about. Is what I mentioned. But we now know where the limitations are from that same blueprint. The original blueprint you're talking about is our DNA. That is the blueprint of our life as it is. And so for people who are listening, I want to tell a little story, just like you mentioned. As a young medical student, we were told that when the fertilization occurred, each of those gametes, which is carrying the sperm and the egg, had half of the complement of our DNA, and one from the father and one from the mother. If you think about it, that is something that's been going on from ever, from your great-great-great-grandfather, carrying that same blueprint. But when they now eventually had the opportunity to look at it, strip it down, the Human Genomic Project was completed in 1993, I think, where they stripped the DNA to look at all the factors, the known part of it. There's still a whole lot that is not known. And they realized that, listen, that the parts of our blueprint that we know, there are aspects of it that peep into what you're talking about. And the one that I want to bring out this morning, if we want to start from that aspect, is something called telomeres.
Say again?
Telomeres. Telomeres. So the telomeres, so let me bring a little bit clarity to it. Every time our cell is dividing, from the time the one that came from the father and the mother, the sperm and the egg met and formed the full cell, one cell. That's how we started, the one. And then that began to divide faithfully without any change into the same set of cells continuously, and then began to form this ball. And then it is now that ball, like I tell people the story where I believe something happened. Suddenly, a part of it changed and became a little disc, which we now know it became called notochord, that became the brain. So you can see where the brain is very, very a huge player in what happens in our body, and it still is. So it took charge from that time, and our body became differentiated. Instead of just the same cell, some of them now began to change to bone and began to change to all the things we have. So that replication or division that we are talking about, where the cells are the same when they divide, to do that, it is like a zipper. The DNA is like a ladder with the molecules from one side is the mother, one side, put it that way. One side is the mother, one side is the father. They come together. Now, to divide into two, the zipper will go all the way from the top to the bottom and open out. And there is a process in which a complement of exactly the same thing will come from the down to make it one ladder again on one side, another ladder on the other side. So that's how two cells are now formed. So on the top of that zipper, just like our zipper, is a stopper that will make it to remain faithful, to have the same complement. It has to have something that will stop it from just going all over the place. So that stopper has a set of codes that are not supposed to say anything. They are just there to hold it together. They are called the telomeres. We now realize that every time that zipper unzips and forms a different cell, that stopper, which has hundreds of codes, shorten. So the telomeres will shorten every time. So if it continues, so the number of times the cell divide is now limited, because if the cell gets to a point where the stopper stops, then it
It's
can
not
no
divided.
longer divide.
Yeah.
So the cell will die. The cell will go into senescence, yes. So that's where the first limitation happened. So that telomere, the one who created us and put that blueprint also put in something to repair it. So as it is shortening, it repairs it. Just like if there are mistakes in the original zipper, there is a repair mechanism. It is the two things that will cause us to die, have disease, age, are built in those. So the ones that are responsible for making sure the zipper continuously have that fidelity and faithfulness of dividing the same will make mistakes but will be repaired over time. If it continue repairing non-stop, we will live forever. If the cells keep repairing, that telomere keep repairing over time, building back up, we will live forever.
We'll live forever.
So what we now realize is that...
So you're saying...
Yes.
Well, you're not saying. But if I'm thinking of what you're going to say...
Yes.
If we treat our body right, if our lifestyle, if we have optimal health,
Yes.
living for those 960 years as the Bible had it is possible.
It is. They did. They lived long.
Even
we don't know
before-
about the number of years in terms of exactly, but they live very long.
Even this kind of world that we're in.
Okay, the thing is, you can sense what is happening. All of us know what we are dealing with in our current world. That's a lot different from what the intention was. When I talk to my patients who I can talk to like that, like I said, we are restricted a little bit from talking about that. I tell them about the Garden of Eden concept.
Okay.
The Garden of Eden concept, that is me. I don't know whether I've seen it in any book, but that's how I've thought about it. The Garden of Eden concept was that the precept of our making was we should have lived in that garden. And if we live in that garden, everything was there to make sure that those mistakes that I'm talking about would not have happened. So you can understand that the environment is very important in maintaining the fidelity of that transcription that I'm talking about.
Oh, interesting. By the way, someone just texted me to concur that her husband and herself says the same thing. You're the wisest doctor that they know. Anyway, but I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the Garden of Eden concept.
Yes.
So, which is now leading us back to a plant-based lifestyle.
Yes. So that's what it is.
Because there was no death in the Garden of Eden.
Absolutely.
Before sin.
The precept does that we live forever. Remember, there are three factors that will live. First of all, there will be no pain,
Yes.
no disease, and no death.
Yeah. So if there's no death, then animals wouldn't die, and we would eat them.
We didn't need those. We wouldn't need them.
We don't need them. All right. Excellent.
You can understand that the foundations and
you know, Dr. Vina, just late last year, I am just inspired to go into farming.
Yes.
And I was inspired because of a number of things. I didn't like how expensive no good foods are.
Do you know? Now people tend to argue the opposite. When I talk with some of them, they say it's very, very, very expensive to eat healthy and to eat things that we know are healthy. So I don't know. The cheap ones are the ones that actually
expensive. It costs it twice. It costs it twice because it.
But if you farm, yes. If you farm, the chances are it's not going to be that expensive.
Yes.
Yes. So the thing that what happened is this, that in 2012, and this is where I say that sometimes there are things that it's not that we are ignoring them as a science, medical science, it's just that we are not emphasizing it enough. In 2012, the Nobel Prize of Medical Science and Physiology went to doctors who discovered this. No, so all of I'm saying now have been scientifically proven. So I want to make sure to my listeners that there is nothing, I am restricted by science, that there is nothing I'm going to tell you here that has not been scientifically proven. The only thing is that science is discriminatory in the ones they emphasize.
Okay.
And that's what I want to try to bring out. And that has formed the foundations.
Let's say prejudice, no?
I think
so as to not get you in trouble.
Yeah, it's not trouble. I tell people that what I argue with my colleagues, I said, all of us went to medical school for the same reasons. We learned the same things. The science is strong. It is just the emphasis that I keep saying that is the issue. Some people tend to want to just go with the flow, whatever it is that is happening. But I believe we can offer more. Our body was made perfectly. Our body was made to self-heal. If I take a knife, Dwayne, and slash on your hand right now, and you manage to stop the bleeding and hold it like that, after one day, if no infection occur, the body have already started healing it. The bridges have already started building. Cells have already started creating new connections for the blood flow to start the healing process. You did not do anything. You are not aware of it. The body will heal it over time. Why we as doctors have to now stitch it together is we want to help to fasten that process. We are not doing anything magical. We are simply bringing the skin together so that the bridge can go faster. The only thing that will make it last long is infection. So if it doesn't get infected, the body heals it. Our forefathers didn't have, before Ian Fleming, our forefathers didn't have antibiotics. So those that didn't die from the infection will heal. So our body is self-healing. And so the only thing we need to do is to be aware of it. That's one of the things we are going to bring out in this program, to make us aware of the fact that our body have unlimited capacity to heal.
So what I'm hearing from you,
Yes.
I just want to understand that the doctors don't heal you.
Absolutely no.
I thought so.
No. They are helping you. They're just helping you
But they're not
to
healing
providing the facts, and that's they're providing the factors that they have learned that can either prevent the things that will complicate the healing process or the things that will help heal.
When I was growing up, my grandmother used to have one popular saying: "Believe kills, and believe cures."
Do you know, Dwayne? That ancient wisdom is scientifically proven now.
Yes.
That our thought. Have you ever thought about your daughter or son or child?
Yeah.
And your heart start racing whether something is happening? It is your thought changing your biology. Our thought, we now know. Remember what I told you about that little disc when we were being formed? That little disc in front that I call the notochord? It took charge of our body from that one cell, from that few cells. 47 trillion cells we have now, it is still in charge of them. And every single one of them, because they are coming from one source, they still talk to each other. They know each other. They feel each other. And that one that is sitting right in our head is still controlling every single one of them.
We're going to take a quick break. Something exciting is coming up this weekend.
Okay.
It's a 50K.
Okay.
When I read the information, I thought it was a typo. I thought it was supposed to be a 5K. No, it's a 50K. UCCI is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they want 50,000 people
Wow.
to join.
2026 is your year.
Time to ditch the excuses and finally crush that resolution.
The UCCI 50th Anniversary Race Series taking place this weekend has you covered.
Leisurely 5K with the family? We've got you.
Ready to go beast mode on the 50K Ultra? Bring it on.
Or want to do something in between? Or even race with friends? We have something for everyone.
5K, 10K, 25K, 50K. No judgment, just results.
Every step supports local education and scholarships right here in Cayman. 50 years of UCCI. One unforgettable run.
Register at ucci.edu.ky/events/50K marathon.
Make 2026 the year you actually do it.
All right, and I'm sure that all of those exercises are a part of the optimal health
talk, yes.
that we experience. So Dr. Bina, so let's dive into some of the basic things
Yes.
that are necessary for optimal health. We touched a little bit on our food. I guess that plays a major part. One of the
role.
major
Major
building
role.
blocks of optimum health. What kind of foods would you suggest?
Yes, the way, based on that thing I told you about the fact that we now understand how the environment plays a huge role. Scientifically, they also, when that science, epigenetics, won Nobel Prize, it told us that no matter how faithful those cells divide, there are things that are going to cause mistakes. They now realize that the things that can repair those are all built into mostly those pillars that we talk about for optimal health, starting with food. If you think about it, the same thing that I talk about Garden of Eden concept, everything that is in plants, bear none. Some of them we don't eat them because we don't know. When I arrived Jamaica, I'm going to tell you the story. Most of the food in Jamaica, I know that you people overlook are things we eat. Greens. That is, I wake up in the morning, my mother would make one form of soup with some green. By afternoon is a different green. There are so many things in those days. In Jamaica, I knew about kalaloo, knew about pop chow and cabbage. That was it. I mean, at least at the point. But there are, if you go to the store and see the amount of greens on the aisle, people eat so much more than we have been made to know. So everything that is, all things bright and beautiful are supposed to be for us to consume. And each of them have those green and purple and yellow things you see in them are rich with things that will change this blueprint we are talking about. Stop them from making mistakes, improve the way that they stay, and stay young and vibrant. That is why plant predominant, I always want to use the word, for the sake of being pragmatic in our current paradigm. You can't just eat. You don't have to become a vegan, but we're saying you should predominantly try to eat plant-based diet. That's for food. In 2016, again, we now realize that a Nobel Prize of Science also went to a science called autophagy. Again, autophagy means that our body have the innate capacity to renew itself by itself, clean itself. Auto means self. Phagus means eating. Our body is able to clean itself. It won Nobel Prize. This is scientific. And we now realize that that's what our ancient forefathers knew, that from time to time you don't eat at all. You cannot fast. So you stay away from food for a period of time and let the body clean itself. That was inbuilt in us. That Nobel Prize of 2017 was called circadian rhythm. The inbuilt in us was the fact that when the sun goes down, we are supposed to shut down ourselves and sleep. And when the sun goes up, we are supposed to rise. That's 12 hours. That is the time we were supposed to have our autophagy. But of course, we lost that based on our current lifestyles. So that's for mouth. what we eat. For other things we now know is that you cannot, just like our batteries, the phone, you cannot get a phone and just keep charging it without using it. The battery will burn out. Our body needs to be, the energy we are building, bringing in with the food, we need to burn it out. We need to exchange it. There are little batteries in our cells called mitochondria that if you look at what it does, it just brings all the food we eat to a point that scientifically have been proven, acetyl-CoA, that will now need to bring oxygen. We're going to talk about that. Oxygen to spark to produce energy. So we are supposed to keep using. That's where exercise and physical activity comes in. That oxygen, I'm going to say this, I'm going to introduce it now, that we have to bring in to complete this cycle has to do with our breathing. We must be conscious of our breathing. You see that now? So when you hear those new things you hear on internet about meditation and all the things you hear about, is because ancient cultures, ancient civilizations, even religions have always known the value of stillness, to breathe, to control, to be conscious of your breathing. And that is just to keep the mind in a state that it can control the rest of the body. So it is that combination of sleep, reducing stress by calming your mind, physical activity, and what you eat. They are the pillars of optimal health.
Probably about 5 years ago, my dad was, he called me early one Sunday. This was in COVID, yes, I remember. Because I had just heard that my grandmother had COVID. She was 101 at the time, and she had the COVID. But my father called me the same morning and told me that he called me Richie. He said, Richie, it's quite likely that you won't come to see me again. Come and see me. Don't bother rush to come because I don't think I'll make it.
Oh dear.
And so I asked him, could you just hold on until tomorrow? I guarantee you that I could fix it. He said he doesn't know, but he'll try. I said, man, just hold on till tomorrow. If you hold on till tomorrow, you're gonna be fine. Believe kill and believe cure.
Exactly. You see that?
Apparently, he went to a doctor earlier on in the week, and the doctor told him that his kidneys, it was functioning of 20% of his kidneys. They were that bad. And he'll have to do a surgery. And that just messed up his head.
I imagine that.
So I said, just all week he's been thinking about that, and it just knocked him down, totally down, till he started feeling all kind of, his mind telling him he's feeling all kind of pains and whatever. The Monday morning, I had somebody take him to a friend of mine that I had on this radio station a couple of times. His name is Martello Melville. He does the whole Jajira herbal stuff, right?
Great.
And he has this quantum magnetic body scan.
Okay.
I said, take him there, scan him, and give him some herbs. He scanned him. He said he could live another 50 years with these kidneys. And he said, however, his heart is weak, and I'm going to give him some heart vita, and I give him some immune stuff and whatever. Just herbs, minerals, herbs. He brought it home. My father, he didn't get the instructions, and he's not taking it without instructions, right? And so I didn't get instructions to him until in the night, about 7 o'clock. And he took it that time. But I could tell you, just by visiting that man,
Just that.
just by visiting and hearing a hopeful news and seeing something, the healing started already. This was the Monday. He took the medicine the Monday night. I called him Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. No answer. I was scared now because I was like he didn't make it.
Oh gosh.
Then he called me back about 10:30, and he said, "Boy, I don't know what's in that thing,
See that.
but I had the best sleep that I've ever had in all my life."
One dose.
One dose. Thursday went to work. And my father at the time was 80.
See.
He went to work Thursday. Construction.
Our body, our mind. So of all the things that we have just said,
Yes.
doing, I tend to tell people that everybody know about diet. COVID brought out all the things about diet and everything about diet, and for us, on the social media and information, by the way. We know about exercise. Everybody talks about exercise. I hate you. I don't like that word exercise. I just say physical activity because people exercise tend to make people kind of worried about it, and
It has to be this
yeah,
structured.
it's structured. Yes,
Yeah.
it's just any physical
Just move.
activity, any move. That's the word. Yes. So we know about so much about that, but the one that we have not talked about enough is the power of the brain and the currency of it, which is the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned, it's not that science do not know, because it is called placebo in science.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we have structured and talked about, and the narrative about placebo is like it is sugar pill.
Mm.
I give you sugar pill and you to make you feel good and you get better. But nobody is saying, what did that sugar pill do to make you feel better? I'm going to give you a little example quickly. If you have what is called inflammation, we know the two enzymes that are responsible for driving it from the injury to the pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Panadol and all of that block.
Mm-hmm.
They block the enzyme physically. So if I do that sugar pill, give 100 people Panadol, and give 100 people sugar pill, and 80, 90 get better with the paracetamol, then we start prescribing paracetamol, and 30 get better with the sugar pill. We say that statistically, that's what science does. It is more significant. So we start giving paracetamol. But nobody have asked, what blocked the enzyme in the 30?
Mm-hmm.
What physically blocked the enzyme? Cyclooxygenase, COX-1. You must have heard about COX-1 and COX-2. What blocked that enzyme in those 30? So we know that it didn't happen to everybody. It is just
Mental.
the belief.
Yes.
The thought. Not just the thought. People think thought is just, some random thing. It is strongly believing either in the person giving you the pill, which is what I tell my colleagues. It is the belief in the person giving you the pill, the belief in the pill itself that it is going to help me. And in some persons, a combination, various combinations. We have not talked about that enough.
Dr. O'Connor has a sermon called Believe.
That's every ancient religion, our Christianity. Paul, about what Paul.
Yeah.
Paul dwelt on it so much.
Jesus used that word a lot.
A lot, yes.
In his medical ministry on earth. When people were sick, and he said, "Do you believe that you were made whole? Do you believe?"
In medical world, I also want to tell people one story about Jesus. Just please, you understand why we have to talk about this one. Jesus Christ usually, like you said, could say Remember, he just said, "Go, you believe you're healed." He did not have to touch the person. In fact, somebody who he did not even see touched the hem of his clothes, but had a belief in it, and she got healed. But still, at one point, he did not just do that. Bartimaeus, he spit on the ground. Remember?
Yes.
He spit on the ground, and we say he rolled the mud, and he placed it in his eyes, and that process was to instigate the same thing our pills and our procedures are doing today. He had to show that faith sometimes can come with work, not necessarily just the talk and the narration. Remember the man with the leprosy, go and dip yourself 7 times. He did not say 2 times, did not say 3, and that is a prescription. So I tell my patients, I say, sometimes don't say, "Hey, I'm not going to take doctor's pill. I'm not going to go to doctor because..." No. Sometimes your healing can come from the pills.
Yeah.
Your healing can come from the procedure. Your healing can come from the doctor. But it may not be the procedure. In fact, on the scientific proof of placebo was done by experiment by a group of doctors, orthopedics doctors. They did arthroscopic surgery, which is the one use camera to do the knee, for people who have knee. They got 100 people. 50 of them had the same type of injury. On the 50, they actually did the right procedure. They put the arthroscope in and cleaned and fixed the knee. And in the other 50, they just put the camera in there, did nothing, and came out. This is science. And everybody walked away. They said, I'm healed. So the fact I'm saying is that placebo is not just something that we say because we want to, semantics and try to talk about it. It actually is scientific. It's proven that our mind, our mindset, our belief, our forefathers were right. Our religion is right. That our belief is very important in our healing.
It kills.
That's what we were told.
Cures.
That's what we were told. And it is true.
and this should help us to help to determine what our children become.
Over time, yes.
If you notice, every American, if you listen, it's born in them that we are the most mighty.
I am an American.
I am.
They don't joke with that. They come in your shop to buy your clothes. I am an American. This is like it's a mantra. Yeah.
Yes. And so they believe.
Yes.
So whatever you teach. So if you instill, the Bible is so right. The Bible is just so right.
Cyclopedia.
Yes.
That is the most complete book in the world universe.
Yes.
From science as well.
Yes.
Again, I keep mentioning to our listeners, everything I say, I'm saying from a scientific perspective. There is nothing in the Bible written that, except the stories which they keep going, digging all over the place. But in terms of the principles,
yes,
most of them have been scientifically proven to be true.
Mm-hmm. And I guess it's just time
yes.
to have all of them scientifically proven.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's just time or willingness. But if we should train our children, instilling them the things, values. Don't eat only for taste, but for fuel.
Exactly.
Right? Then and you train them from young, then you'll make little geniuses.
True. And can I tell you a little story quickly again? When I was going for formal training in lifestyle medicine in 2016, I kind of didn't know where to go. The Americans were training people, but they have this protocol. You have to do some tests and all of that. You'd have to be a board certified in America. But the British were a little bit open, but Britain was so far in terms of me going for the training and the things that I needed. And I don't speak Spanish. The only ones closest to us we are all Spanish speaking. So I cannot combine. For training purposes, I fly to America to do that. For examinations that I can do, virtually I did UBA. One of the reflections I had with them is that we live in an island of, at that time the population was thought to be 79,000. And I told them, I said, listen, I live in an island where the government has everything. The children are all going to school, nobody's at home. And the just two high schools in the big island, 5 primary schools in the big island. We can make this place a blue zone. I told him, that's what I told. His name is Bob Lawson. I told Bob Lawson, we can make this place because we can start with the children. In fact, when I was in Nigeria, there was something I call ACT. It was for drug. ACT means that you can start with the children. Because immunization in infections, we started with immunizing children. Is that not true? Yes. We immunize them when they are born. And to prevent the diseases that they eventually would have, that killed them in those days before age 5. We are now immunizing them. So I believe that because we now know the fundamentals of the diseases that are holding us down, going to hold us down, one of them will come to us at one point in our lives. That is diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, and Alzheimer's, and 4 of them I call them. And we know one of them will catch us at one point based on our lifestyle now. I said we can immunize the children from when they are young by this same thing you're talking about, the principles. But I realized that most parents do not want to do that because there is this thing about if you don't eat burger, or he's poor, the child is poor, you go outside, you have to eat what? You have to take him to KFC and, so that he doesn't feel any way, the other children are eating it, that sort of thing. And then for the schools, I realized they are feeding children. So if we could have been able to enforce it, children learn from the day they are born. Their brain is pliable. It's called neuroplasticity. If you can begin at that time to ingrain it, we don't have to be struggling now. Even now, I am struggling with some of these things we are talking about. I'm struggling with having to eat, the way that I know that we are supposed to eat, because over years of my life, I've been, eating all sorts of things. So, but if we had started from early, putting this in our children, they don't have to struggle to go to a life coach or a health coach or go to the gym for a gym coach to help them. These things would have come natural. That's would have been the ideal thing. So teaching children from early, them. I watched a show by an Indian. It's a show where they do like you have spelling bee championship.
Yes.
And this Indian uncle, the girl was coached by her uncle. Before she goes for each of those constitutions, he makes her sit down and breathe. And you watch the girl do that, and she does it so cleanly. And after I file, she'll say, "Uncle, I'm ready." And she'll put her hand like that. And she'll do that, roll her hand, and she'll go. Every time I watched her in that particular competition, the calmness she has, the questions that I know, I saw my son to do the same thing. There are some things he missed, and he missed, and I knew he knew it, but it's just the nervousness, the anxiety. But she was so calm. She won that competition. It's not because she knew more than others. I don't think she was smarter.
Because
she was calm.
Calm.
So I'm talking about teaching children from early. There's some of the things we need to teach them from early, from both their diet, the same thing we are talking about, how to move, and how to calm themselves down in the midst of all the things that we are having. Our world is changing the way. We cannot influence what is going on in our environment. What we have is just our own life. And if every individual can consciously, intentionally influence what happens in their home, that will go a long way. My friend in Canada, when I traveled recently, there are things she doesn't have in her pantry. Absolutely.
Like, well, that's so good. I mean,
she doesn't. There are things she doesn't have in her pantry. That is, even me, I had to struggle asking for stuff. She said, "No, I don't keep those things here." and so, but we think that if we don't do that, we are seen as poor. We are seen as less, but it's just the way to create an environment for health. And it don't have to be big changes. I want to tell people who are listening, please, nobody's asking, just small micro habits that stack over time. If you're brushing your teeth, while you're brushing your teeth, you can be matching while brushing your teeth. Before you bathe, you can dance to a favorite tune, dance a little bit, let your heart go gaga for a little bit.
Yes.
In the office, you can take the stairs and run up and down. When you're going home, you can park your car a little bit far from where you work to walk briskly to your workplace. So we are not talking about huge changes of going to the gym for physical activity, or having to become a vegan for nutrition, or having to do meditation and put your fingers in a particular. No. It's just learning to breathe. That's the word I use.
Dr. Bina, time flies so fast.
That's why I had to just make this.
Time flies so fast when you're having fun. It's such a pleasure having you this morning. And by the way,
yes,
I got another text that says, let me just read it. Didn't realize you were alive. I concur. Dr. Obi is the wisest doctor. 3 times a charm.
Oh,
great discussion. Looking forward to speak to you next week. This is going to be a weekly program, and it's going to be a program with. I like that you are covering optimum health without the regular conventional medicine.
Yes. It's not that I want us to, in the next, every day, every Wednesday, whether you're going to work in the traffic, we want to walk with you, talk with you,
yes,
as we are doing today.
Yes.
Interact with you if you can. Those who can call and ask questions or text, so that we can answer anything that they have in terms of questions that bug them. But we want to make it simple enough to understand without the jargon, the medical jargon. I am a doctor. I'm not going to say there is nothing, like I've just mentioned it.
Yes.
It's not that I'm against medical practice. It's just that there are things we did not intentionally leave behind. It's just that we are not emphasizing it enough. And it is those things that I believe are the pillars of optimal health. And that's what we are going to be talking about in this program with you.
I know that later on, probably in a couple of months, we have some very excited information to share.
Yes.
With our listeners, some exciting offerings and a way to make your lifestyle even better.
That's great.
To bring your doctor to your door.
That is wonderful. Yes, that's correct.
Right. So we also look, I'm not even going to say anything about it because I'm waiting until the time is right.
Right. Yes. Correct.
But I'm pregnant with excitement.
Yeah, that is wonderful. It's gonna be I wouldn't call it. The word fun time is good to use. It's going to be, because that's the way I want it to be. I don't want it to be some form of strict jacket type of giving you information. I'm not going to be giving you information. We are just going to be sharing and interacting, and also highlighting those areas that, just from my training and experience, that are very relevant, because I believe that we can. There is nothing that we put our mind to we cannot do.
Dr. Wina, it was a pleasure having you this morning. The wisest doctor.
Please come on now. Can I give you a joke?
Yes.
There is a saying in my place that is, if you put a shoe, have you seen a little boy wearing his father's shoe?
If you put what?
A little boy,
yes,
when he puts his legs in his father's shoe and try to walk, what happened? So that wisest doctor to him. Be careful, you know.
I know exactly. My son used to like to wear my shirts. There were dresses. There were long dresses on him.
Our forefathers, the wisdom of our forefathers are limited.
Yes,
I leave that one to them. I give it to them.
All right. This has also brought us to the end of Bright Star for this morning. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Dr. O'Connor comes your way with Family Matters.